As we've shared in the last video on the book, Influenced, by Robert Cialdini, people tend to look to others for guidance as to how to behave. And this tendency is strongest when the person observed is similar to ourselves. We can see the effect in how teenagers are easily influenced by the fashion choices of their peers. Cialdini shared his experience in this book about teaching his son to swim at an early age. However, his son would not get into the pool without wearing his inflatable plastic inner tube. Cialdini even hired a former swimming instructor to persuade his son, but to no avail. One day, at a day camp, Cialdini saw his son suddenly jumped into the pool and swim. Cialdini was happy but puzzled. He later asked his son. His son then told him that he saw his other friend, who is 3 years old, same age as him, swim. If Tommy can swim without a ring, so that means I can too. An expert can't make a kid be brave and try. But another example of similar people to them can. In a study done by Columbia University psychologists, the researchers placed wallets on the ground in various locations around Midtown Manhattan to observe what would happen when they were found. The wallets all contained cash, a check, and various information providing the name and address of the wallet's owner. In addition to this material, the wallet also contained a letter that made it evident that the wallet had been lost not once, but twice. The letter was written to the wallet's owner from a man who had found it earlier and whose intention was to return it. The researchers wanted to know how many people finding such a wallet would follow the lead of the first finder and mail it, intact, to the original owner. The researchers also made two types of letters. Half was made like it was written by an average American, while the other letters were written in broken English, who identified himself as a recently arrived foreigner. The interesting question was whether the Manhattanites who found the wallet and letter would be more influenced to mail the wallet if the first man who had tried to do so was similar to them. The result? Only 33% of the wallets were returned when the first finder was seen as dissimilar, but fully 70% were returned when he was thought to be a similar other. These results suggest an important qualification of the principle of social proof. We will use the actions of others to decide on proper behavior for ourselves, especially when we view those others as similar to ourselves. Our tendency to emulate others also produces a rather grim statistic. When a suicide is highly publicized in the media, the number of people who die in airplane and car crashes increases dramatically in the following week. What could explain it? The answer seems to be that, after reading about a suicide in the paper, some people resolve to take their own lives to emulate the victim. Sadly, these are not people who would have committed suicide anyway. Research has shown that every front-page suicide story effectively results in the deaths of 58 people who would have otherwise gone on living. This is known as the Werther effect. On average, this effect seems to be the strongest for people similar to the person whose suicide was publicized. When young people read that another youngster has committed suicide, they are more likely to take their own lives, while older people are more likely to react to news of suicides by seniors. This is also why marketers often use advertisements featuring mostly fake interviews with regular people on the street who endorse a product. Ordinary people comprise the largest potential market for any product, and they value an endorsement by a person who seems similar to themselves.